Welcome everybody to question 4, very short question, only 7 marks as you can see. So we should be able to breeze through this quite quickly. It's a surds question as you can obviously see. So let's start out by defining our surd. If we have a surd of A times by a surd of B, then we get the surd A, B. Just treat it like a normal number. The same goes for division. If we go for division, surd of A divided by surd of B, then we get the surd of A divided by B. So let's get rid of that and bear that in mind. With this question, we can also say that if we have a surd, we have a surd of a number times another number, there we go, then we can say if one of these numbers is square, let's say A is a square number like, oh, I don't know, 4, 9, 16, you get the idea, right? Then you can have that number times by that one there. So we get, say this one was 4, for argument's sake, let's say A was 4, or root A is 2, so then we have 2 root B. There we go. So those are the main things that you need to know for this type of question, and it always comes up, so it's worth knowing, I think. So let's start simplifying out these things straight away. Alright, so we've got root 50. So root 50 can go down into square numbers by saying root of 25 times 2, because obviously 25 is a square number, plus the root of 18, which is 9 times 2, and go over the root of 4 times 2, because 4 is a square number. It's worth saying it's not always 2 in this situation. It does happen to be in this question, but it's not always 2. So let's bear that in mind. So if we go down a little bit, let's simplify that further. So we can say that we've got the root of 25 times the root of 2 plus the root of 9 times the root of 2, that's gone a bit wrong, root of 2 there, over root 4 times root 2. And you can probably see where this is going. I'm going to go sideways now. Let's have purple, I think, for that. So root 25 is 5, root 2 plus 3 root 2 over, it's done that again though, over 2 root 2. Right, so we've got it down to as simple as we can get it, nearly. Let's try and go one more. We've got 5 of something plus 3 of something. Let's add them together. 8 root 2 over 2 root 2. Now, like I said at the beginning, you can divide one surd by another surd, and there we've just got numbers, 8 divided by 2. So these cancel out. There you go, root 2 and root 2 cancelled out. 8 over 2 is 4. That is your answer. Right, excellent. Good, 3 marks for that one, so you can afford to take a little bit more time than you might think. Right, question B. Question B, here it is. So we've got to take this ugly looking thing and put it into this nice little form here with a root 7 on the end. So the way that we do that is we need to, let's write it out for a start actually, let's just write it out. 2 root 7 plus 5. So this denominator here, that defines what we're going to do with this ugly looking situation. What we need to do is say, right, we've got 2 root 7 plus 5 on the bottom. Let's take that plus, turn it into a minus. We'll turn that into a minus and then times top and bottom by 2 root 7 minus 5 over 2 root 7 minus 5. And I think I should explain why that works. I mean, it just looks like I'm saying, do that, remember it, and it magically works. Well, the reason why it works is because when you times, let's go down a little bit, give ourselves an example. When you have A plus B times by C plus D, then you have this one times this one, so AC. Then you have A times D plus AD. Then B times C plus B times D. BD. Okay, so if we do that up here, then what we're going to get is 2 root 7 times by 2 root 7, which actually, when you do a root 7 times a root 7, root 7 times root 7, that's root of 49, which is 7. So that's going to get rid of this root on the bottom, and then the rest of it is going to cancel out, because we're going to have, if you say, here we go, A times C is going to be exactly the same as B times C, but in reverse. We're going to get 2 root 7 times by minus 5 and 2 root 7 times plus 5. So we're going to get 0 in there. So that's a bit of background for you to why it works. I hope that was helpful. Let's actually do the question now. So what is that going to equal? Well, 2 times 2 is 4. Root 7 times root 7 is 7. So 4 times 7 is 28. Then we get 2 root 7 times by minus 5. So minus 5 root 7. Then minus 1 times 2 root 7. Hang on. 2 root 7 times minus 5 is minus 10 root 7. Minus 1 times 2 root 7 is minus 2 root 7. So we get minus 12 root 7. Minus 12 root 7. And then minus 1 times minus 5 is plus 5. So that's what the top looks like. Don't worry that the top looks ugly. We can deal with that in a minute. So then on the bottom, like I said, you've got 2 root 7 times 2 root 7, the same as on the top, so 28. Then 2 root 7 times minus 5, and 2 root 7 times plus 5. So that's going to be 0. So I'm not going to write that down. You know it's 0 because I've just explained it. So then you have plus root 5 times minus root 5 is minus 25. So let's sort that out. Let's neaten it out a bit down here. So we're going to get equals 28 plus 5 is 33 minus 12 root 7 over 28 minus 25 is 3. Then you can see what's coming. Treat it as normal numbers. 33 over 3 is 11. 12 over 3 is 4, so minus 4 root 7. That is the form that they asked for. We've got m plus n root 7, so m is 11 and n is minus 4. That's the answer. See you on the next video.